What's up, YouTube? Lildheffner here, and I am back with another video. Remember that thing I did not too long ago? Maybe starting last summer. I used to review shows, kind of, sort of. Yeah, I called them reviews, but they were more like bad commentary. They were just more like bad commentary. So I don't know what happened. I just kind of like stopped because the commentary was getting so bad and I was getting so much hate for it. I ended up crying in my closet or something. I don't know. But I'm bringing back the review part of it. I'm actually going to review these shows. The reason I am doing this is because on PFI and PFL, I'm extremely lazy and I'm the guy that's known to have a lot of stuff to say when it comes to pick feds, and I write these long 4-page essays on what happened and all the advice and what I loved and what I hated, and why not just say it? Why not save the time and just say it? I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Well, I did, but again, bad commentary. But let's get into it. CWA WrestleFest is going to be the first show that I give a nice firm review on. This was a good show, but this show is it didn't. It's hard to explain. I had it at a high pedestal, and I probably set it a little too high based on the card alone and the potential that I know Dylan has. Because he's built this great Fed in CWA and it's non-stop awesomeness. It's never been bad. I don't remember the last time CWA was bad, but honestly, I had a really high expectation for this show, and I didn't walk out let down per se. Full understand, well, with a full complete, I didn't feel complete. That's what I'll say. I didn't feel complete with the show when it ended. But some really good stuff happened in this show, and I will dig into it. We're gonna start off with the Money in the Bank opener. This was a really good match. This was a really, really, really good way to open up a show. It was a nice spot fest. I mean, I won't really. I will call it a spot fest. It was a really nice spot fest, and it really set the tone for the show. The rest of the show was bound to be decent at least, based on this nice opener. So there was one thing that really stuck out to me. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one on earth that thought this at all. And I am pretty sure he did not go out of his way to do anything that I'm saying that I thought he was doing. But to me, the whole match, not saying this is a bad thing, I actually really liked this. To me, the whole match seemed like it was building up to a really, really big Luke Harper dive. I know that sounds silly, but it feels like it felt like he purposely made every little chance that Harper had to make a dive not happen. Like the first time, I think Ricochet hit him with a super kick or something, and he couldn't get the dive in on all the people on the outside. Then the second time Roman Reigns came into the match, and yeah, like he just couldn't get the dive in. But I felt like the dive was going to happen. I don't know why, again, but that's just what I felt. So, yeah. Let's get into the match, though. There were some things that I loved about this match. The one things that I loved about this match was the outside dives. Like, they were great. The the two best ones were by one person, and that's Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was on the top rope. Everybody was outside except for Randy Orton. Randy Orton is on the apron. Somehow, Seth Rollins finds a way to, I want to say, double foot stomp Randy Orton's chest and do a moonsault onto everybody. It was amazing. I loved it. The second one was after Roman Reigns came into the picture, and Natalya pushed over the ladder that Seth Rollins was on, and um, Seth Rollins jumped onto the top rope and did a nice, beautiful front flip onto everybody on the outside. That was awesome. I love that. If you hear that, that's my knuckles. I don't think you guys hear it, but yeah, that was awesome. That was really cool. Another thing that I did like about this match was Natalya. I like the way he uses Natalya as a Candice LeRae in his Fed. I don't know if it's because she's a beautiful blonde that can wrestle, maybe, but either way, he uses Natalya great with these other. He uses them great with these male wrestlers, and she doesn't do too much. She doesn't like. She doesn't like do too much to the point that it's ridiculous that she's even facing guys, and it's none of that. But it's just nice to see, and he does it so well. I love it. Um, okay, another thing that I liked was Ricochet getting thrown through the ladder. I love that spot. Um, Luke Harper did a choke slam onto Ricochet, and it was monstrous through the ladder, and Ricochet had to get escorted out of the match. It was freaking awesome. I loved it. Um, Roman Reigns getting involved into the match. I know I've mentioned it before earlier in this review, but Roman Reigns getting into the match, I really like this because it really built the suspense. It really made me think he was going to do a lot more than he was supposed to and actually score Seth Rollins the win. Honestly, I didn't know who was going to win until, well, I thought Ricochet was going to win. Then Ricochet got taken out of the match from the ladder spot. Then I thought it was going to be Seth Rollins, but then Roman Reigns got pulled out of the ring by everybody, and then Seth Rollins was out hanging by himself. So then after that, I had no idea who was going to win this match. It was up in the smoke. I mean, Luke Harper could have won. That would have been a good choice. But the surprising winner was Adam Cole. I did not see Adam Cole winning this match at all. I did not see this happening. And it's just cool that he did. Yeah, so it was a really surprising win right there. I didn't see Adam Cole winning, but he won and it looked nice. So I can't wait to see what Dylan does with this afterwards after WrestleFest. The next match on the card was Sheamus versus Paul London. Okay, this may come out way worse than it's supposed to be. This statement that I am about to put out into the world is about to be very misleading, and you're gonna think that I thought the match was terrible. This was the worst match on the card. That sounds so bad. Like, that sounds terrible. That makes somebody feel like they just put on a 1-star match and it wasn't good at all. But that's not the case. It was just the worst match compared to everything else. It was a good match. It was decent. But it just felt like it lacked my interest. It didn't grab my attention. And honestly, I really think Paul London should have won this match. Paul London has looked great in CWA as of late, and he's been building him up really well. Just for him to lose to Sheamus, I don't get it. I feel like Sheamus should have lost this match, and London should have gotten the Intercontinental Championship. But Dylan has a plan. I guess I'll see what he does later on. The match after this was the Switchblade Conspiracy versus Rey Mysterio and Rob Van Dam. This was a really fun match to watch. I still think that the Switchblade Conspiracy's joining was one of the best things and one of the coolest things I've seen in the Fed in a while. Again, the way he built up the moment, how you could just tell Dean Ambrose did not want to destroy his own friend in Sami Callihan. Like, you can just see it in his eyes that that's not what he wanted to do. and the build up to it was tremendous. And I told him that it was great. He knows that I know that he knows that I think that I know that he knows that I think that it was great. It was awesome. I don't know if that makes sense if you play it back, but whatever. That was it was awesome. And team and as the tag team champions has been great. So there were some cool things that I liked. The opening sequence in the match when Switchblade Conspiracy turned their back on Rey Mysterio and RVD, and all the good stuff started to happen. Another thing that I liked was the Doomsday device to the outside onto RVD. Dean Ambrose had RVD in the electric chair position, and Sami Callihan came and did some cool suicide dive clothesline thing, and it was pretty cool. It was really cool to watch. The finish was nice. I really liked the finish, but the match seemed a bit short. It may just be me again, just saying stuff, but this match seemed very short. I don't know why. I don't know if he did it on purpose or if he just didn't want to continue to film it, if he didn't have any more spots in mind. But the match was 2 minutes. I feel I think it was 2 minutes, but I think the match could have been longer and better. But it was still a good match. Don't get me wrong, still a good match, but it could have been longer. Next match was Michael Elgin versus Samoa Joe. I put inside my little memo pad what I thought of each match, and I did my little bullet points. And right next to Elgin versus Joe, it says brilliant. This was not match of the night. It wasn't. But storyline wise and storyline development wise, this match was brilliant. I loved it top to bottom. It was great brawling. It was just a great match overall. The finish was nice. It had a lot of time given to it. It had a lot of time given to it, which I actually liked. And the headbutt at the end just really was a nice touch to continue the feud. So I think that was dope. I think it was really cool. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I applaud you. But the match was really good, and I cannot wait to see what you do with Elgin and Joe in the future. Dolph Ziggler versus Cesaro was the next match. This match was truly amazing. I feel like it stole the show. Honestly, this was match. I don't even want to say match of the night because I will get into the main event later. But this was a great match. Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro have had a few matches in CWA, but this was the best one in my opinion. This was great. It feels like this feud has been going on for a long time now. I will remember watching CWA. I believe the show was Cut Above the Rest, and Dolph Ziggler versus Cesaro happened, and they had a great match. And these matches that they've had are just amazing. These matches are great. You know how to use Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro really well, and you know how to make great technical wrestling. The spots in this match were dope. This was a great technical wrestling match. This had a lot of great reversals as well. Like the roll up into the double foot stomp and the top rope power bomb into the face buster. I liked how the world title came into the picture, with Dolph Ziggler trying to cheat a little bit, but Cesaro kicked out, and and Dolph Ziggler hitting the zigzag from the top rope was awesome. I loved it. It had a great finish, great match. Honestly, if this is the last match that they have, which I doubt because of the screwy-ish kind of trying to be screwy type of ending, this was a great send-off for the feud because this match was amazing. If we get just one good, I don't even need a stipulation with weapons. I want to see them in a submission match. I think that'd be dope. A submission match or like a 2 out of 3 falls, or maybe something like a 3 out of 5 falls. I don't know. That was kind of ridiculous. That sounded stupid, but something out of the not out of the box. Maybe an ultimate submission match, kind of like what Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit had in 2001. That would be great to see if this wasn't the end of the if this wasn't the end. Next match, Davey Richards versus The Undertaker. This was a good match. You used the two people very well. Davey Richards looked very, very strong in this match. This was a very out of the box match in the first place. Like, the build up was cool, and honestly, this match, like, never, like, I've, like, of all matches that you would think, whoa, this would be great, this would be cool, this would be nice, Davey Richards versus Taker never comes to mind, and it's just so out of the box, and you did it so well, and I have to applaud you on that, but I do not feel like clapping, but I applaud you. I snapped for you. I snapped again. Yeah. So this was a very out of the box match. Some things that I liked. The dive that Davey Richards did that got caught into a chokeslam on the apron, that was nice. The old school reversal. Undertaker went for an old school, and Davey Richards hit him with a gut kick, which was awesome. I am very surprised that Davey Richards dominated most of the match. Undertaker got offense in, but he didn't really get as much as Davey did. Like, I really expected Davey to, like, die for some reason. I really expected death in this match, but he really dominated the match and looked really, really strong over Taker, which really surprised me. And I really cannot believe that Davey went over. My eyes were wide open and my hands were on my head. My jaw was dropped. I couldn't believe that Davey actually went over The Undertaker. I didn't see that coming whatsoever. Like, The Undertaker basically called out Davey Richards just to lose. I didn't see this happening. Like, I really feel like if Taker won, they both would have looked strong, but Davey looked really strong in this match. So really kudos on that. I didn't really see that coming at all. Really good job on that. Match after this was AJ Styles versus CM Punk in a Chicago street fight, where the Styles Clash is banned from the match. Yes, AJ Styles cannot use the Styles Clash, which was a really nice touch in my opinion. I really liked it. The match was okay. For it to be a Chicago fight, there weren't many weapons involved. I mean, it got more extreme towards the end, when CM Punk ripped off the turnbuckle and chairs came into play. I mean, that was about it though. The match could have been better. I feel like they could have had a little bit more hatred towards each other, and it just could have been a better match in my opinion. But I don't really know. There were some really good things about the match. The technical wrestling and the dives, those were cool. Like, it just really felt like a really normal AJ Styles versus CM Punk kind of match though. Like, I didn't feel like the match was eventful at all. Like, it just felt like another one of those matches. I thought it was cool how the referee stopped AJ Styles from doing the Styles Clash. He tried it like twice. He tried it on the outside, and the ref like pushed him off and said stop. And then he tried it again in the ring, and it just didn't happen. So I really liked that. It was a really nice touch to the match. It just really felt like a normal match until the end. The lack of blood, the no blood in this match was weird. I really expected blood because these two hate each other. I expected blood. I expected these two to kill each other, but hey, I don't really have much to say about that match other than that. Yeah, the next match was the main event. Gargano versus Jericho versus Bourne versus Bryan. This had a nice technical start with Bourne and Bryan starting off the match. It was really cool seeing those two go at it. They really had a nice little moment in WrestleFest. It will never be forgotten. It was just great technical wrestling. I loved it. It was amazing. There were a few spots that I loved in this match. One of the spots were Chris Jericho going for a power bomb on, I believe, Johnny Gargano, and uh, Evan Bourne coming on the top rope and doing the double knee strike on Gargano, and then the power bomb. It was really cool. It was a nice little double teamish type of move. The next one was when Bryan was doing Dragon Sleeper on Evan Bourne, who had his legs on the ropes, and Jericho came in and did a lion salt. I thought that was dope. That was really cool. Uh, yeah, those were my favorites though. Those were my favorites. Um, this is where I get not pissed, but I get confused. I really feel like I really feel like Daniel Bryan should have either lost the match, like he should have got pinned by Gargano, or he should have won. Honestly, for storyline development reasons, but I really feel like he should have got pinned or he should have won. Unless he's gonna come back to Gargano and say, "You've never pinned me, you've never beat me, face me for the title." I don't think him just being outside the ring I don't think Bryan being outside of the ring while I believe Chris Jericho got pinned was a good choice. I really think Daniel Bryan should have gotten pinned or Daniel Bryan should have won. I feel like this was a heel turn wasted. They had a great tag team and Daniel Bryan turned his back on Gargano, and I really feel like he backstabbed him, and they should have had a lot more interaction in this match. I don't think they really like brawled at all in this match. I think they brawled it out a few times in this match. But it was just weird to see that Daniel Bryan really didn't have anything to do with finish. Daniel Bryan, I really feel like this was a wasted heel turn. I really do. I feel like the heel turn was wasted. It was no reason for it. Like seriously, I don't understand why it was even done if they weren't going to have a one-on-one match, or if Bryan wasn't going to get pinned, or if Bryan wasn't going to win. I feel like if they were going to have a heel turn, then Bryan should have just won the match. But that's how I feel about CWA. Sorry about I think you guys noticed, but there were a few technical difficulties into the recording of this. I am sorry about that if you guys did catch on to it, but this was a really good show. I give this a 8 out of 10 stars. Really nice storyline development with Elgin and Joe. But just a good show overall. I really liked it. Good job, Dylan, on the filming of this. I hope you get to see this review. If you do, I hope you enjoyed the review. So yeah, I'm out. This was a nice show. I really recommend it. So I'm out in 3, 2, 1.